Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I have a simple art journaling lettering tutorial for you. Oh my goodness, tripping over my own words today. I found this quote online and it was, "I will not compare myself to strangers on the internet." And I thought that was perfect because, you know, I was having a moment. I think I was feeling inadequate about something, probably my parenting skills. And I saw that quote and it was just at the right time. And I thought, you know, right, that's perfect. We should not compare ourselves to strangers on the internet because we have no idea what their lives are really like. Even people we know, when we see their posts on the internet, we really ought to take everything with a grain of salt and, realize when we're doing the best that we can, that's fine, you know? So I really thought that quote would be something I'd like to refer back to. So I decided that I would keep it simple and I just sketched out the letters with a pencil. And I was going to show you that part, except it was so light and hard to see against that dark background that I decided to edit it out. And the background was made with a stencil from Die Cuts with a View. And what I had done was I had sprayed the stencil, put the stencil on the opposite page with the ginkgo leaves there, if you can see that under my pens and ruler. And then after I sprayed it, I actually closed my art journal book so that I'd have two backgrounds for one effort and not waste all that ink. And so now I'm finally getting around to using that background. And I really liked it. I thought that it would go really well with just some simple pen and ink work. So to begin, I took my ruler and I put a couple of parallel lines kind of on an angle. And that's where I wrote the big block letters myself. And then I knew if I put that focal word in the middle, I could work everything around it. And there I'm making a little banner, a couple words there and a little banner treatment. And I have another video, which I will put a link down below in the video description on making those banners. They're super duper easy and they just look complicated, but they're so easy. And you can do them in any shape or with room for as many words as you want. And I'm going to show you how to do that in another video. And the link will be below and it will be up before this video. So yay, it'll be there when you watch this. I wanted the letter I, the word I, to be kind of decorative like a column. So that's why I'm kind of drawing these swirly little bits and these like, I don't know, what is that, a Corinthian column? The kids were quizzed on that in art class. I don't remember what it's called though. So I just kind of wanted to have them Roman columns. I'm not sure. So anyways, I wanted to make that look like a column. And here I'm going to make a colossal mistake. Well, not really that colossal. It's just a piece of paper, but still, I'm making a little banner letter, but I put the tail and the bottom on the wrong side, but whoop-de-doo. It's a journal page. I'm not going to worry about it, but I just wanted to let you know so you don't repeat that same mistake. Do as I do. Do as I do. No, do as I say. Don't do as I do. For goodness sake, don't do that. And I'm still penning in that. Wow. Yeah, I think speeding up this part of the video is wise because, boy, that does take quite a while, doesn't it? And I somehow managed to get a blob of ink or paint or something at the bottom of that page. Maybe it was there before and I didn't notice it. I'm not sure. My hands were so inky by the time I was done. It was awful. So now I am erasing my pencil lines because I have all that nice pen already done. And then it's going to look like I didn't even use pencil, like I just drew it off the top of my head with a pen. But you know the truth because you're watching my video. It's a mystery. It's the magic of art. You erase the pencil lines. Okay, now I'm brushing all the eraser boogers onto the floor. I'll vacuum that later. Okay, now what I'm going to use are these fun little pens. They're called Paintastics and they're by Elmers and they're pretty cheap. And what I like to do is start them off on like a tile or a scrap of paper. A tile's nice because then you don't waste the ink and you can go back and pick it up. But I don't start it off on my paper usually because I'll end up getting a blob and sometimes it spatters. And I would not choose, these are fun, but you're much better off, I think, with a watercolor set. These are just kind of fun and novel. And the nice thing about them, though, is when they're out of ink, you can actually wash them out and they're like water brushes. So they're quite a bargain. I got mine quite a few years ago at Sam's Club. They were, I think, a set of 15 for about $10, but they haven't carried them in years. I've seen them in smaller sets at the craft store and even at like department stores, like in the kids' art section, usually with like 4 or 5 different colors, and they do make shorter ones. They're harder to squeeze though. I actually do find these a little bit tough to squeeze, just so you know. Now the ones with the opaque barrels are by Ben Fang, and they're more pricey, and the paint seems to be a little more concentrated. And for some reason, there is a rogue paint pen in there, and every time I touch any of them, I get all this burgundy paint on my hand. So you'll see the wipe coming out now and then, like wiping down the barrels, because I get covered with this burgundy paint. I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from. It's a mystery. And whenever I think I find it, it still turns up. I don't know. It's a mystery. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm not a very good housekeeper, as you can tell. well. See, more. It's more on the yellow one right there too. All right, so I am going to paint the big block letters in with yellow, and I want it to remain kind of juicy, so I'm putting quite a bit of paint on there. And then I am just going to add a little of that tealy color to the edges so it can just kind of blend and give me a two-tone effect, because I like the two-tone effect. I think it's wicked fancy. Wicked. So yeah, you're just filling it in. Now if you wanted to, after it dries, you could paint like every other stripe with the teal, and then that would give you even more dimension. But after I had that pretty much one layer of watercolor pen, I was pretty happy with it. And sometimes it just, I think the cool thing about doing a quote like this in your journal is that by the time you're done it, you can kind of really absorb the quote, and you can hopefully commit it to memory and rely on it when you need it. When you find yourself comparing yourself to others, you can hopefully remember that and say, no, it doesn't, you can't compare yourself to other people. It's not going to work out for you. It's not a positive thing to do. So yeah, I think just that whole act of writing it down, I know we all pin really cool quotes on Pinterest and, maybe bookmark them or whatever, but the act of actually writing something, copying something down, I think commits it to memory. There, the world according to Lindsay. How about that? So now I'm just going over the cursive letters and the thin letters just with the paint pen. Just simple. I'm adding some shadows or more intense color on the bits of the ribbon that are in the back there. And that is the words will and not. I'm not sure. You probably could see it pretty good if you have it full screen, but I do notice that that pen seems kind of thin now that I'm looking at it back as I'm voicing it over. Doing the same thing here. I think that might be the Rogue pen that keeps staining my fingers, maybe. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it is. I think the one that keeps staining my fingers is one of the Ben Fang ones. All right, now I'm adding a little more pink around the yellow. I like the pink and the yellow together for some reason. I just think it they kind of work well together. And it's, I like it better than just a flat color on those little banners and the little ribbons. And I'm just going to fill in the word internet with that turquoise color. And you'll notice I just put like kind of one thick bar on each letter, and then the rest of the word are just kind of like skinny. So it's kind of like I'm using a bunch of display text here, and you don't have to be fancy. I just kind of make it up as I go along. Just experiment with different lettering styles. I've never really had the patience to do a lettering course or anything like that, or, I've read a book once, and I'm very lax when it comes to lettering, because I don't really have very good penmanship, but I feel like if I draw my letters, then it can look much better. I'm just adding a little bit of shadow with a regular old paintbrush and some leftover watercolor from my tile. That's a great thing about the tile. You don't have to waste any of the watercolor rather. And I'm just adding a few little details. And you could add more details. You could add some rubber stamping. You could glue some rhinestones in, whatever you feel like your page needs. I just decided to keep everything with just pen and ink and watercolor, pen and watercolor for this. And honestly, I'm feeling like I could have sped this up more because it's really probably not that interesting. I hope it's somewhat interesting and helpful and informative for you. And if not, or if so, or whatever, you can let me know in the comments below. If you like this tutorial and you want to find out how to make the banner letters, click on that little button there and it'll take you to that tutorial. And if you like this video and you're not a subscriber yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Click that subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.